Afternoon viewers, and welcome back. I've just had some lunch at Waterloo after Ubering this morning, and I thought I'd take an hour or two off and just do a little bit of FSD challenging or experimenting. And I'm just heading north at the moment on Burke Street at Waterloo, and I'm heading for Hornby Lighthouse here, which is about as far as we can go on South Head. And then my intention is to make another video travelling down the east coast beaches. There's a lot of interesting streets down the east coast beaches. They sort of there's a lot of narrow streets that sort of wind in and out of the headlands, between the beaches and around the headlands, etc. That should be an interesting drive. And then maybe after that I'll go back and turn on Uber somewhere in the eastern suburbs and see if we can get some trips around Bondi Junction, Paddington, around that area. That'll make some interesting FSD experience as well. About to turn right onto Crescent Street and then left into South Dowling Street. Well, the other thing I'll tell you is that even though on the way to pick up any Uber passenger, I send them a message, first of all telling them how to open the doors, which fewer and fewer people seem to need these days. Second thing is that I'm using full self-driving. They shouldn't be concerned if they see me not holding the steering wheel. And thirdly, that the camera here is recording only facing forward, waiting for the pedestrian, and then the car coming in the other direction. It's very good. Done good, FSD. Yes, just telling them also that we're recording and that they're not being recorded, etc. That the camera is just facing forward. Even though I tell people that I'm using full self-driving, almost no one comments on it. In the last, today's Tuesday, so it's, only 4.5, nearly almost 5 weeks that we've had FSD in Australia. Oh, I hate it when drivers do that. Turning into the first lane when there's still traffic in the second lane. It's almost impossible to not encroach on the second lane. Yes, even though I've been using FSD for Ubering for nearly 5 weeks now, very, very few people are interested or comment or ask anything about it. But no one at all has seemed concerned. I haven't had any complaints to Uber. And my average rating hasn't dropped. People are not concerned about it, even if they are aware. So where are we going here? Off Barcombe, okay. I just had lunch. Just excuse me a moment while I get myself some Gaviscon. I think a lot of this chronic cough of mine comes from gastric reflux. So let's see if we can keep it down a bit. across the tram tracks. I've in settings here, I've put in avoid tolls and avoid highways. I always have avoid ferries on, but I've put avoid highways and tolls in just so that the drive might be a little more interesting. We all know that FSD can drive on highways. There will be parked cars up here in the left lane. We have a blinker. Car in the next lane is letting us in, thank you. I have a sexy button down here on the centre console, which is programmed to give 2 flashes on the hazard lights, as a thank you to the driver behind for letting us in. The navigation here has suggested an alternate route going through Bondi Junction, but I think we'll end up in Bondi Junction later on today. So I'm going to start off just going up around Rose Bay, follow the harbour shore up. For those who know Sydney, I had an Uber trip this morning from Bayview into the Sydney CBD. I will post that video later, unless I do it before this one. And that was like 45-minute trip, including the Sydney Harbour Bridge and all of the road work that's going on on the northern approaches, and a mostly intervention-free trip. There are just things like incorrect speed limits, reading irrelevant speed limits, which is annoyingly common, and an occasional suggestion at a lane change. But other than that, sort of safety-related interventions, I think, from memory. Don't stop for pedestrians who aren't moving. They're not on a pedestrian crossing. Needed a little bit of accelerator pedal there to get it moving. Now we're going to be turning right up here, so I will just wait and see if it looks like I'm going to be annoying other drivers. I might prompt a lane change. I think we might be all right. We don't need the blinker right now, though. I probably wouldn't put the blinker on until we've crossed this next intersection. We've got to cross the intersection before we do the right turn. Ah, come on, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? You didn't need to do that. You're in a right turn lane. And now we're going to end up in the right lane when we don't need to be. Went over the lane line again there. It does that quite often. Goes a bit too wide on a lot of turns and encroaches on the next lane. Ah. Well, we're on New South Head Road in Edgecliff, heading southeast right now. Soon to be east and then northeast. Now you're in the wrong lane. Good, he slowed down as he got the blinker. Put the blinker on, now I will do it for you. That's why I wanted to be in the other lane back there before that right turn. I'll say it again and again and again. Tesla, if they want full self-driving, need to do much, much, much better lane mapping. Heading into Double Bay, sometimes known as Double Pay. Expensive part of Sydney, this. I think I might have said Old South Head Road before. This is actually New South Head Road. Old South Head Road is over that way. This, we're not turning right here, but this little intersection on the right here, be interesting to see how FSD would handle this. There's two right turns within about, about 50 metres. And if you know you're going to the second one, it's sometimes best to go around the outside of the queue and go to the second right turn. On the other hand, you can sometimes try that and find you can't get back into the right lane. When I was young and foolish, now I'm just old and foolish. When I was young and foolish, my friends and I used to like coming up here when it was raining, and slide your car around these bends. It was a lot of fun. We were doing drifting before it was a thing. Well, drifting in the wet, I don't know if it's the same thing. Passing Point Piper. Another expensive real estate area with views of the harbour. I can see the harbour through there. I'm becoming a lot more relaxed with FSD now. I sort of getting an idea, which I, touch wood, hope doesn't turn out to be wrong, that I've got an idea of when FSD is just going to perform without a problem, and when it's likely to muck up. I hope I haven't jinxed myself by saying that. There's Rose Bay on the left. I will have to get a 360 camera so that you can see some of these things that I'm talking about here. The Rose Bay Wharf just down here on the left. When I'm in this area, I often get Uber trips going to Rose Bay Wharf, usually to taking people to harbour cruises. Not unusual for weddings and birthdays and things like that. It's the road to the Rose Bay Ferry Wharf on the left there. It's also a good place for a public toilet if I'm in the area and in need. Just that parking is sometimes a problem there. Well, it's often a problem there, should I say. I am really looking forward to Tesla solving the irrelevant speed limit sign problem, which causes me a lot of grief. Driving around Sydney all day, you often come up, you're overtaking a bus, or there are places where it will read a speed limit on an adjacent road or an exit ramp, all sorts of things. And there are tunnels where it doesn't appear to be reading the overhead LED speed limit signs. It can only be getting the wrong speed limits from map data in that case, and in that case the map data is wrong. I really wish they would get on and fix those things. The second big annoyance for me is the lack of adequate lane mapping, and the the tendency for FSD to not look ahead more than about 200 metres and not prepare for an upcoming turn by getting into the correct lane. Yes, these windy roads here were a lot of fun in my young days. I think with modern cars with all of their safety features would be, unless you can turn them off, would be not as much fun on these roads in the wet. Walked at that little curve there. Now we're in Waterloo. There's a exclusive private school on the left. Copel, Rose Bay. Nielsen Park down there and Vaucluse House. That'd be another interesting drive. What's the time? 1:36. We've got another hour, 54 minutes until school zone time. I sometimes think to myself that I will, if I'm driving in Sydney, I will not use FSD during school zone hours. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a fine from yesterday. There we go, keep going, go the right way, good. Like using FSD, we came out of a side street onto a main road. There were no school zone signs immediately following that left turn onto the main road, but very shortly down there was a speed limit camera, and as we turned onto the main road, FSD went straight up to the general speed limit, which was 60 in that area, but we were in a school zone time. Before I realised that we were actually in a school zone, I think we probably were in range of the camera. Thank you, FSD, and your lack of proper school zone programming. I think I'm going to get probably $300 or $400 fine for that and lose 3 points on my licence. Thank you very much, Tesla. Please get these bloody school zones fixed and do it soon. I just saw Macquarie Lighthouse up there on the hill. Macquarie Lighthouse overlooking the, I think it's Tasman Sea by this time. It's not the South Pacific, it's Tasman Sea just off Sydney, I think. I keep telling myself I'm going to check that one day, but I haven't got around to it yet. And I did check later. Sydney is on the Pacific Ocean and its harbour is an inlet to the Tasman Sea, which is itself a part of the Pacific Ocean. The city's eastern coastline faces the Pacific, while Sydney Harbour opens to the Tasman Sea, which lies between Australia and New Zealand. Oh, here's a Tesla, if you're watching, here's a feature suggestion, please. I would like to be able to play music, radio, etc., that sort of thing through the car's speakers, but I would like to be able to listen to navigation instructions through my Bluetooth earpiece. If you could split those outputs and let me redirect the navigation instructions to a separate device, in this case my Bluetooth earpiece, that would be great. Then I can let my passengers listen to music or the radio or whatever they want, and I can listen to navigation instructions. I do want to listen to navigation instructions even though FSD is doing the driving. It's not full self-driving yet. It is still a very heavily supervised driver assistance system. Give way sign, roundabout, go ahead. Here we go. 2 minutes to go. I'm not sure how far up this road we'll be able to go. It's been a few years since I was out here. Some years ago I was doing a bit of landscape photography all around Sydney Harbour, and I came out here a couple of times. And I haven't been to that lookout either yet. It's funny, you live in a city and you don't do the touristy things, do you? Bump. I slowed down well for that one. That was, 15 kilometres an hour, which was a good speed for that speed bump. Now, let's see how far we can go. I usually go around to the left here and then up to there's a parking area overlooking Camp Cove Beach. Ooh, geez, it came close to that concrete. There's Sydney Harbour just ahead. .40 sign, 40 is good. Down to 13 for that little speed bump. Now, let me just take over here. Let's have a look at, I think we've gone past it. There was no one behind me. Let's go, and we go to there. And that is a stop. Here we go. Come on, FSD, do your thing. Touch the accelerator to get it to go. Don't know why we need to do that occasionally. So just back up that way, there's the track which goes up to Hornby Lighthouse. I don't think I'll walk up there today. Come on, we're doing 14 kilometres an hour. Keep going. 16, bit faster. We've got a car behind me. 18, go faster. 19, 20, 21, 23. Now there's traffic coming at an acute angle here on the left. Fortunately, they have a stop sign and they have a stop sign. Now we're going right at the roundabout. Still went too close to that concrete the second time. Still Sydney Harbour. Now I think I used to turn left here to go to the car park. Yep, sounds about right. Looks like there's a few walkers out today. Oh, it might be a school group by the look of it. Right, keep going. Don't stop now. Don't know why most of the time my car drives as if it's in standard or hurry mode, but sometimes it just stops. Now, where are we going to take us? Where's you going nowhere? You can't park in there. Sorry. Anyway, this is the parking area overlooking Camp Cove Beach. We'll just do a little U-turn here and then I'll end this video and then we'll start the next one, which will go down the eastern beaches. Let me just get out of this car park here. So that's Camp Cove Beach down to the left there. Well, there's a lot of these big four-wheel drives, the Ford Rangers and the like here. Maybe all the tradies are out to lunch. So. Okay, let me just find somewhere to pull over. We just end the trip there. Here we go. I'll just pull over here. Not going to be in anyone's way here. Okay. All right. Thank you for watching. And as they say, please like and subscribe. And we'll catch you on the next video, which should be travelling down the east coast beaches. See you then.